Greetings everyone. I am Shrishti Singh from Skills Rediscovery. Today we have with us Dr. Seema Shah, Director, Btech Integrated Program, MPSTME, Nmims University. Welcome ma'am. Please tell us a little about yourself.
Thank you, Srishti. And thank you to Skills for organizing this talk. A little about myself basically starts with, I have done my engineering from VJTI, followed by getting into the teaching profession by choice. And I've been in this field for around 30 years. It comes to 33 years exactly to say. And it's been a long journey with a small 5-year period in the industry and then back to academics. And I've done my PhD in the area of grid computing in terms of distributed shared memory on a grid of clustered computers. And apart from that, I have written a few books published with Oxford University Press, and followed by doing research in the area of grid computing, and now moved into blockchain. So that's a brief about myself.
Ma'am, kindly tell us a little about your journey and why did you choose this career?
So I think I've been inspired by the teachers where did my schooling. I could see how they were dedicated to the teaching community and growing the future leaders, and that's how over a period of time I got determined to get into this profession. So once I finished my engineering, I chose to join the profession and work towards doing something more for the students, whether it is the ones who learn very well or the ones who are actually finding it difficult to learn, and get comfortable, because it's a different journey for them. And learning basically should be a joy, not a pressure, and it should be an integral part of everyday life. So that's how I got into teaching. So if I look back at my journey over a period of 33 years, I started with teaching at VJTI. Then after that, I joined SNDT Women's University, the Prem Polytechnic, as head of the department. Now, during those days, the computers was not in the as a course, streamlined course, and the courses which were run were basically electrical, then electronics. So I moved from electrical to electronics gradually. I did my masters in computers during that period. And after that, I joined Don Bosco Institute of Technology, which was followed by a little later getting into Vitalagar Institute of Technology. And in between the two, I had a 5-year industry experience. After which, I joined Nmims University at Mukesh Patel School. At Mukesh Patel School, I started as a faculty, and then I went on to get into the role of head of the department, followed by chairperson for this program, BTech program of the 10th. And after that, I took over as director for this program. So it's been a long journey, but it's been a wonderful journey.
It actually has been a wonderful journey. So ma'am, kindly
Yeah.
tell us about the challenges that you face to withstand the complexities of the education industry.
So, when you look back and see how education has changed over a period of time, there were days with no mobiles, and the blackboard was the only way of teaching. And with the current pandemic today, we look at complete online teaching where there is no connect to the student in a physical manner. So I've seen that entire change, and I could easily migrate from that chalk and board to get into complete online today. And there have been challenges like, see, one is always the gender diversity, which whatever we say, it exists in India. And I've always been a strong proponent, that yes, women should be considered equal, whether as students or as teachers or as, managing home along with work. Because that's one additional role which the females play, at home and otherwise also. So the challenges one was sometimes I would face this gender bias, gender thing, you can't do it. It's not for you, things like that. And I always said, why not? And take it as a challenge and move on. The other thing would be sometimes, that when you grow on the ladder, when you go from one designation to the higher designation, and if you're good, you're selected because you have the capability and the intellect, so you get in at the higher role. And there's always a resistance from the lower, from the peers who have been with you earlier. And that's something which everybody has to face through. And, then come out with flying colors. And that's one of the challenges which has been there. And apart from that, how the educational material has changed, the teaching methods have changed, the students have changed. So students earlier would be, yes, I want to learn more. There was a hunger for knowledge. Now that hunger is replaced with the Google and the internet resources. And so you just click and you get your information. So it's so easy. And in that, you want to make them go and value what you have learned. That's one challenge. The other challenge which I'm looking over a period of time is basically the focus on ethics. There was a lot of focus given on ethics and values and morals and principles in the earlier days. I think that has been slowly decreasing over a period of time. In fact, with the parents of students also, as well as with the students of today. So this is something which it always strikes back and say, yes, I think we need to build in ethics, because that is the need of for a student anywhere in the world. And in fact, if you go abroad or you go anywhere, you have to follow rules by the book, which is not the case so much in India. That, okay, I don't mind, skipping a signal. I don't mind doing something wrong. I don't mind paying a small bribe and getting something done. But I don't think that works outside. And I think this ethics values have to be inculcated even today in the current students. So these were the few challenges, which I would have faced over a period of time.
Ma'am, it's amazing to look how you embrace these challenges and went on with your work. So, ma'am, kindly tell
Right.
us about your institution and what programs it offers to the students.
So, Mukesh Patel School of Technology, Management and Engineering initially started with a very different program called as MBA Tech, where there was a need for techno managers, uh, engineers having the managerial background together and not doing engineering then management. So, our flagship program of the school has been MBA Tech, and it has done various streams, like started with computers, IT, electronics, telecommunication, mechanical, chemical, etc. Then our school, MPSTME as we call it, is a part of Nmims University, which is actually governed by the 𝐕𝐵𝐾 Mandal of Mumbai. Now, under the Nmims University, we have various schools where MPSTME is one of the schools, and we offer courses in engineering and management together. So one is the MBA Tech program, then we have the BTech program, then we have the PhD program, the MCA program, the MTech programs. And after that, we also have the BTech program after 10th, which is way different from the normal BTech, which starts after 12th. And we were the first ones in the country to start the BTech data science course. So the first batch will be graduating this year, and it's really done very well. Now, this we were the first in the country to also start with this the BTech after 10th program, where the students get in after 10th standard, and they move out with a diploma and a degree in this particular stream, and also includes 1 year of implant training, that is exposure to the industry. So these are the various programs which our school offers, and the range would be like computers, IT, electronics, telecommunication, mechanical, etc. And again, now we are also offering AI, data science, which are the upcoming demands of the skills in the market.
So, ma'am, the courses offered at your university and your institute are actually out of the box. They're innovative, they're
Yeah,
creative, and they fulfill the need of the hour.
yeah, yeah.
So, ma'am, brief us
And
about the. Yes, ma'am. Tell me.
sorry, no, you continue.
So, ma'am, brief us about the current scenario of the industry your department is involved in.
So, as you see, the current industry has moved in 1 year. It has been a major change in what's happened to the way the teachers are education is going to happen. Like in terms of the pandemic, everything has gone online. So last March, I just recollecting that I was out of station for a week, and then the government announced lockdown on some Saturday, 16th March or something, and the very next Monday we started classes online. So every faculty in a minute got onto Zoom, Microsoft Teams, got onto Meet, Google Meet, etc., and spend their own time and efforts to find out how they can go online and ensure that students' last few lectures of the academic term were not missed out. And that's how our teachers got into this particular way of teaching. And yes, online is a very different way of teaching. And I think all universities have geared up to that in India. And I think this is what is going to be the new normal as we go ahead. On the student front, the new normal is going to be how to learn online, how much to take from the faculty in the online lectures like this meetings which we have, and do some things on their own beyond the curriculum so that they have a holistic growth and they become employable in the future. So the industry is facing a lot of turmoil, be it from the admissions point of view, because people can't come to the campus and have a look at the campus now. It's only what they see virtually, and you don't. And I think the students are also missing out of good campus, vibrant life, which they would have enjoyed the earlier ways, like meeting people, talking to them, or even having short interactions, games, discussions. All those things I think are one of the few challenges which are going to be missed out by the students.
I'm
Yeah,
comparing online and offline education, it actually hampers the peer-to-peer learning.
very true, very true. But in our Microsoft Teams, we have a breakout room sort of a concept where we ask the students to get into small groups and do some discussions and come back. But no doubt it is not a replacement of offline, whatever you say. But online learning has been an integral part of any industry training. It's not always going to be offline in industry. So many of the times they have online training, and I think the students will get used to it.
Definitely, ma'am.
Yeah.
So, ma'am, what suggestions would you want to give to the current and new students to handle the employability challenges of the 21st century?
There are many things to talk about. The first thing is strengthen your foundation. Your foundation should be strong so that you can pick up anything on your own. And there may be a technology today, but it is not sure it's going to remain tomorrow or day after. So the students need to have an ability to learn on their own and be confident about what they have learned. We can't ask somebody else, am I right? I don't think that is what is going to work in the long run. And I think students will need to become a little more competitive because uh, placements are becoming online. So companies are not going to come to one single campus and go. They may have a full campus. In that big crowd, I need to get selected. So the student has to be really good. And I think each of the students will have to have their own niche in technical, non-technical together to come out as a good personality so that he is distinguished among the remaining crowd which is there. And with that, ethics, there is no shortcut for ethics. And industries value ethics, whatever we say. So I think this is something which should be with zero compromise or zero tolerance. In things like punctuality, discipline, self-discipline, self-motivation, we can't be driven by peers around. Peers may do something doesn't mean we have to do it. So I think these are some of the things which have to be inculcated by every student so that they are going forward in the right direction. And wherever they join, they grow. And I always dream of having an exponential growth, or it should be an increasing growth. Your journey cannot be a straight line. I'm here, I'll be here tomorrow, day after, and for all the years to come. It's not that. Life is all about, having an ambition, having a dream, and moving towards achieving it. And students are the leaders of tomorrow. So I think that as leaders, they have to become more responsible, accountable for what they do, and should inculcate ethics so that they'll survive in the tough competition which is going to be there outside. I think that's what I feel, is what I would like to tell the students of today and tomorrow.
Ma'am, the way you explain that we should always, grow exponentially, I hope the audience gets that and they try to learn skills as much as they can over the time.
Yes, yes.
So, ma'am, what suggestions do
So
you want?
exponential, I mean, actually is a double jump. You need to be good so that you have a jump. Like in a crowd of 500, you should be different. You should stand out so that people know you and they select you. That is what life is about. If you're one in the ordinary, you'll always remain ordinary, right?
That is true, ma'am. So, ma'am,
Yeah,
what
yeah.
suggestions would you want to give to the young teaching fraternity of the country to educate the current student generation?
See, gone are the days where teacher I know everything and students don't know anything. That's the first thing the teachers have to accept. That okay, today's generation knows as much as me. I have to just put them in the right direction and make them think. If the book is there, I'm not a replacement of the book. I need to be an add-on to the book. So I need the teachers need to understand that students are going to voice out what they want. We should be acceptable to that. We can't say that okay, I'm at this pedestal and you have to listen to me. No, those days are gone. And yes, instead of using the normal delivery method, where the teacher talks for 30 minutes, 60 minutes, those days are gone because concentration of students is not more than 12 minutes. Not more than 12 minutes. So the moment a 12 minute is done, you have to have a change in what you are doing. Maybe it's an interaction, discussion, getting them involved, asking a question or whatever. So the way we are going to teach in this particular generation is in the education 4.0, which is not the earlier education which you all have been looking at. So there's a big change required, and faculties have to start getting into what is called as anthropology and not pedagogy. Active learning, making students do projects, case studies, scenarios, do something on their own so they are ready to self learn in the future. I think this is what I would like to tell the young faculties of today.
That's great, ma'am. So, ma'am,
Yeah.
what education, like what Indian education fraternity should learn from COVID-19?
The formula of uncertainty. Things can be uncertain at any moment of time, and we can't be doing the standard way what we are doing. So be prepared to make a change dynamically as and when required. Industries have been doing that. It never came to education till COVID-19. Okay, it never came here, and the teachers have never experienced it. But I think there's a lot of learning from the pandemic. That we had lockdown one, then we had the second lockdown, which was far worse than the first one, and we are trying to come out of that. But how we are able to manage everything together, being more empathetic to the students and how they behave, why they behave like that, and all this together, put it into the learning so that the next future days we are far better prepared to handle such uncertainties which may come. It could be the pandemic, it could be anything else, it could be with powers from another country or anything. But I think we should be prepared. Yeah.
So, ma'am, what role do you see for skills-based education in India?
Yeah. See, skills-based education has been a very integral part of NEP 2020. If you've gone through the national education policy, it talks about skills-based learning right from school, which was never focused on earlier. In all these years, right from the freedom, it was never focused on. So skill-based learning is going to pick up right from school level because every child has got something which he is good at. I think the children need to identify what is of their interest and work into it and develop that skill because that is going to be their feather, in the cap, along with the remaining curriculum which they go through. So I think skill based training is going to pick up in the country, and now instead of saying you have a general engineer or a general student coming out from commerce or art stream, it's going to be more focused into a very specific skill set, so he can deliver more than what others normally can do. And even the NEP is fostering for community college, like what is there abroad. So we talk about people who have left learning earlier are coming back to learning and developing some skills so that they can get good jobs. So it's more about the education policy also gearing towards employment for the people, and not the full time, even the part time employment, and looking at both the genders. I've got an fire brigade noise. Can you hear that?
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, we have edit that out. You can continue.
Yeah, yeah.
Ma'am, just give us two
Also,
more.
you can remove from the background.
Yes, ma'am. We can just take a
No, no.
pause. Yes, ma'am. We
Yeah,
can.
yeah. We'll take a pause. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Uh,
So it will go now. Now you can hear.
Ma'am, it's
Now
there.
you can hear the.
Ma'am, it's there. A little bit of
It's
there.
there. It's there. Yeah. So normally every through the day, na, the fire brigade when it goes out, na, it will go with that siren.
Ma'am, now you may continue.
Okay. So I think skill-based education is going to pick up in India, and especially in India because of the way the people are. Many of the women will not be able to work full time. They would like to work part time. So even with the people, they want to have multiple jobs. So skill-based definitely is going to pick up in India.
Very well said, ma'am. So, ma'am, is there anything else that you would like to share with the audience?
Overall, I think in India we've come a long way from where we were as a country driven by the Britishers under complete slavery and bondage, and then the drive from the freedom fighters to become free. Then the people gathering together, and today where we say that we are a developing nation, and we are moving far ahead with the way things are happening in the country in terms of systems going online. I think the youth of the country have to gear up and start getting aligned with the goals of the country to move towards a developed nation. And I think responsibility, discipline, self motivation, ethics, all these will help to build the future leaders of tomorrow and who can actually drive the country in the right direction. I think that's what we should look at. So that's what is my last word for myself.
Ma'am, we had a great experience by hosting you here with us, and we are really grateful to you. Like the thoughts you had and the experience you shared. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you. Thank you.